Hello. So I'm realizing I probably need to create a little bit more vloggy and casual content if I'm going to be able to upload pretty frequently on this channel. So I figured I would kind of document what I'm doing with our starter kind of herb garden. I had to wait for the pharmacy at our local Target to open a couple of weeks ago, and also had to pick up toilet paper, which I did find. There was plenty when you go first thing in the morning on a Monday morning. So I kind of browsed around the outdoor and garden area because I kind of get addicted to that this season. So I picked up a couple of herb seed packets, kind of looked on the backs, make sure that all of them are container friendly and everything along those lines. So I'm going to try to actually go gung-ho and grow as many herbs and plants as I can in our little rental space that we've got. I'm going to turn the camera around here so you can actually see what I actually picked up. So first thing, I picked up a bunch of soil, and I got some perlite because herbs, apparently everything I've read at least, they really like good drainage, just so they don't get like kind of soggy. I think they generally have pretty delicate root systems. Let's see, so I picked up two variations on chives. One is garlic chives and one is like regular typical onion chives that we have all come to know. The garlic chives are gonna have flat, like more grass-like blades, and then the onion chives will have those hollow stems kind of that you use for your various dishes and garnish and that sort of thing. Over here we have parsley and cilantro. These two, I was reading, do not like to be repotted, so I got these little like kind of, I don't know if you'd consider them compostable, but these containers will basically just become a part of the soil, so you don't actually have to pull the like root ball out of a container and repot it into another container once it's all germinated and established itself. So we've got cilantro, which this is technically, I think, the only one that wasn't actually labeled as an herb. It's just labeled as organic on the top, so I don't know what really differentiates the two, if it's because cilantro grows more or something, I don't know. Over here, I actually picked up 3 different variations on basil, so I'll talk about the oregano first. But we've got Greek oregano, this one here, both basil and oregano, when I was reading, like it pretty hot and lots of sunshine. The basil I got over here is just regular sweet basil, which is kind of like the standard you would see in like cooking and standard recipes. And then I also found they had a lemon drop basil, which it actually said, what was one of them? Leaves great for tea, sorbets, and potpourris. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then a spicy saber basil, which this one you can see, even its leaves look spicy. It's supposed to be good for like Asian food, and Isaac is really into just all things spicy right now anyway, so I've got these little dividers here to go between the soil, just so that I've got some barrier, I guess, between the two, especially considering I've got, 2 basils in the same container and that sort of thing. I just want to know exactly what is where. They should eventually grow different looking leaves and be identifiable that way, but in the meantime. I also got catnip, which this one I need to figure out what I want to put, or what container I want to put it in, just because it says it should be in a very large and deep container, just so that it can properly establish itself. I also would like to have one that I can bring like inside and outside, because I do have 2 kitty cats that like catnip, and I know they'd really enjoy. Onyx, hey, you want some catnip, buddy? Yeah? And then these 2 over here, I've got this really pretty kind of like, I don't know, banana boat shaped planter, I guess. I figured spearmint would be nice in this one, just because it's kind of the odd man out, where it doesn't like a whole lot of sunshine compared to the other plants. And I guess I shouldn't say that either. The chives over there, those ones will be germinated in the dark. I was reading that they do best that way, I guess. And then I've also got some lavender. One of these, I want to say it's the English lavender, is a little bit taller, I'm pretty sure. 30 inches and 18 inches. So I figure I'll probably pop the taller in the center and then surround it by the Munstead, I guess is the smaller. And I think, let's see, 6-inch space. 12-inch space, yeah, so this is kind of lower and more sparse, and this one's going to be a bit taller and more dense by the looks of it. But yeah, no, I'm excited. This should turn out pretty good. I'm just going to fill all these with their various soil, and I'll check back in. Almost forgot, I also have rosemary and thyme. The rosemary and cilantro seeds both needed soaking when I looked up some kind of tips and tricks. Rosemary was just an overnight in warm water, and then what was it? It was about 48 hours. Alright, so quick update here. I've got our lavender. I've got everything covered right now since it's going to need some humidity to germinate. We've got everything else in tubs. Isaac was awesome and drilled some holes for aeration. I've got spearmint over here, and the catnip I just split into 2 smaller containers for now. I've got one more container to fill. I need a little bit more potting soil though, because I've been working on other plants as well and kind of repotting and spreading them out. So we're gonna make a pit stop at Home Depot and come back for kind of the final 2 plants to be potted, or 2 seeds to germinate, I guess I should say. See you in a few. Alright, so last night we picked up more potting soil, but then we also decided to get takeout for dinner, so we kind of just made it a day night, and I didn't check back in. Woke up this morning and finished up the potting. I wound up also kind of repotting a lot of my other plants, and I found a couple things at Home Depot when we stopped that I wanted to pot as well, so I've got a couple of new plants as well. I figured I can show you guys where I kind of settled everybody, where their homes are going to be. I brought everything, or almost everything, upstairs just because it's warmer up here and it should be better for germination and honestly probably most of their growing time until they're able to maybe sit outside when it's sunshiny and warm. So yeah, let me show you. Alright, so here we have our rosemary and thyme. These ones in particular, they said anytime I researched them to keep them very warm with moist soil. So this room in here probably gets the warmest just because we end up, or I should say I end up playing our gaming laptop in here, and that creates a lot of heat, especially from a laptop. It doesn't have as many cooling sources as like a desktop computer would. So yeah, that one settled here. I also moved this guy upstairs just because I think he's my favorite plant, so I wanted him in the room that I'm in most of the time. If we go over into our smallest bedroom, and excuse my messy house right now, this room gets the most natural light and probably stays the warmest on a consistent basis at least. So I've got a majority of the plants in here. Let's see here, we've got all the basils and oregano, and then the cilantro and parsley. And I've got this nice little clamp glow light. It's nice because it's got these malleable bars, so you can really adjust where you want them to be. The clamp is very strong. I needed 2 hands to get it opened up and clamped onto the bed frame here. But yeah, these guys are set. And then I've got our catnip over here in the window. Opportune because Shyla likes to sit here, so when it starts to grow and get established, she'll be happy to sit next to it. I've got everything covered in plastic, just to kind of keep it all humid. I know I kind of mentioned that last night, but you know. Alright, and then in here is where the chives are. This is Isaac's computer room and my sewing vicinity. Since we do have our computers in here, it generally stays pretty dark so that there's not glare on the screens and all that during gameplay and etc, etc. These ones, they said to keep them dark. They shouldn't really have much sun until they germinate, so we'll give it a shot and see how that goes. But not least, I've got our mint is in this container right here. This one, it is kind of the odd man out where it wants more moisture and not quite as much sun, pretty much only like half sun. So this guy will probably stay in my dining room or kitchen, just because that way it's in a good place where I can set it out if it needs sun versus kind of hiding it away behind a, we've got kind of a half wall behind our kitchen sink here. So here I've got the lavender. This is just in our kind of sitting room downstairs. And then I also found these cute little succulents. My sister got me this little elephant here and wrote a sweet little note to go with it. So the succulent that it came with, or that she picked out for it, though, I was not in a good place to take care of, so it kind of died away, unfortunately. I think the one that I had, it didn't have much of a root system, and since, like, you can kind of see this is a pretty small opening, it wasn't really able to sit on the dirt and actually develop a root system. So I figured this guy that kind of protrudes and is more upright would probably work better in there. And then I really like this variety of succulent because they send these little shoots up, and I do believe once they get big enough they get kind of pinky coloring. If not, though, I don't care, they're pretty either way. And then you can see I had the orange flowers before. I picked those up at Target a while ago, but then the colorful kind of rainbowy leaves over on the right I picked up yesterday as well. I've got kind of a tall sort of peachy terracotta color ombre planter that I got on clearance at Target at the end of the year. I'm hoping to find one more plant that can go in with these two, and then I need to figure out how to fill the bottom of it so that it doesn't get incredibly heavy or waste a bunch of my dirt, because it's a pretty tall, skinny planter, so I need like a false bottom or something like that to kind of make the most of the soil that I have. What? Is this video about you now? Should we go for a car ride? Yeah, do you need food? We can go get you some more food. I also want to get a stake that I can put outside so that she can be on a lead and stake while we're sitting outside, maybe when more gardening happens, or when we eat lunch when it's nice outside. Yeah? Yeah? Should we go? Car ride? Should we? Let's do it. Are you excited? Yeah? Okay, time to go.